Welcome to Jersey Line. Pat O'Melia here, your pro football prognosticator. Last week I went 9-6-1, but I did some over-unders last week, which I did all right. I won on one over-under, and I pushed on a second one. I never played the over-unders before, but I was convinced after listening to Craig Carton on WFN to try it. So it's the last week of the NFL season, week 17. Next week starts the playoffs. Of all the weeks I was picking games, this was the toughest week because I don't know who's starting, who's sitting. Pat Mahomes is going to sit now. I didn't hear about Aaron Rodgers. They're going to start setting a lot of starters to get into the playoffs, which start next week. So remember, if you got a gambling problem, you wouldn't if you followed me last week. You were doing 9-6. Bet with your head. Don't bet over it. You know, bet like $20. Don't go crazy. Don't bet the rent on football games. But it's easy to go nuts on it. You just, I like this game. I like that game. Here we go. Last week of the NFL season, 1 o'clock. Everything's Sunday games. No Saturdays. No Monday nights. That's all over. 1 o'clock. We got Atlanta at Tampa Bay. Tampa, do they need it? They could probably go up one more seed. I don't know if they're going to start Tom Brady. I know we're going to have Matty Ice playing for Atlanta. I did all right last week with Atlanta. It was 10.5. They lost to KC, but they covered. It's a big spot at 6.5. I'm going to take Atlanta plus 6.5. Don't know if Brady's starting. Baltimore needs to win. They're at Cincinnati. It's a huge spot, 12.5. Baltimore just roughed up on my Giants. They're going to rough up on Cincinnati. I'm taking Baltimore minus 12.5. 1 o'clock game, FanDuel. My New York Football Giants are hosting the Dallas Cowboys. They will get beat by the Dallas Cowboys. I'm taking Dallas minus 2.5. I think they'll keep the score. It will be low if you're thinking over, under for that matter. I think I took the under on that myself. Dallas is playing well. They got their act together. The Giants, putrid offense. I mean, terrible offense. The defense is doing all right, but 1 o'clock game, Minnesota at Detroit. Minnesota is done. I don't think Cook is going to play this week, so I'm going to go with Detroit. Could be Stafford's farewell game with the Lions. I'm going to take the Lions plus 7.5. 1 o'clock. We got the Jets visiting Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. Belichick hates the Jets. Remember, he was head coach for one day, resigned on a napkin. I'm going to take New England minus 3 against the Jets, who are on a 2-game winning streak and beat 2 really good teams. But the slipper is eventually going to fall off, and I believe it falls off in Foxborough. New England minus 3. 1 o'clock game, Pittsburgh at Cleveland. Big Ben's not playing. Rudolph is going to be our quarterback. It is a huge spot. Cleveland got a COVID problem. They had no wide receivers last week. Their training facility was closed because of COVID. Pittsburgh is getting 9.5 points. You can't turn down Pittsburgh at home. Well, Pittsburgh's in Cleveland, but they're getting 9.5 points. 1 o'clock game, FanDuel. Tennessee at Texas. Didn't go well for Tennessee last week. Didn't go well for me because I took Tennessee. They need to win. I'm going to take Tennessee minus 7.5 at Texas. Tennessee minus 7.5. 4 o'clock games. FanDuel. Rams, their quarterback is out, having surgery on his thumb. He hopes to be back in by the playoffs. Goff. When I first looked at this game, I knew Goff had a problem with the thumb. So I did the FanDuel bet with Arizona, getting 1 point. FanDuel today, when I did the lines, Arizona is minus 3.5. I actually have Arizona plus 1, but the final numbers right now is Arizona minus 3.5. Without Goff starting and Coop is out also, Arizona minus 3.5 against the Rams. 4 o'clock game, Green Bay at Chicago. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to start. There's really nothing for Aaron to do. I don't think they can improve their seeding anymore. They're not going to get the bye. Chicago is playing for their life. Trubisky has resurrected himself. He may have saved his starting job for next year. I'm going to take Chicago at home plus 5.5. If I knew more about Aaron Rodgers, I may think twice about that. But not sure what Aaron Rodgers, and I wouldn't start him. 4 o'clock game, Jacksonville at Indianapolis. Indianapolis blew it, choked. That's what Rivers does. That's why it's a one-year deal with Rivers in Indianapolis. But Jacksonville is putrid. That's my word of the week. I'm going to take Indianapolis minus 14. Indy needs to win. 4 o'clock game, the Raiders at Denver. Denver's got to, there's a legend is going to lose his job. John Elway will lose his job in Denver this year. And they're going to clean house. But they got a lot of young players, and they keep it close. And the Locke kid, given the right staff around him, the right players, he could be good. I'm going to take Denver plus 2.5. Oh, no, I got a problem there. I'm not sure. I think it's Denver minus 2.5, but it will be right on the screen. We'll straighten that out. 4 o'clock game, Chargers at KC. KC is getting 3.5 points. At home, Kansas City is getting 3. Pat Mahomes is not starting. I think it's Chad Henne will be the quarterback. It's still KC at home. They're getting 3.5. Just on the name alone, I'm going with KC plus 3.5 at home. 4 o'clock game, New Orleans at Carolina. New Orleans, they still need Breeze is going to start because he still needs some timing. He was out a long time with the ribs. They're going to whoop up on Carolina. I'm taking New Orleans minus 6.5. 4 o'clock game, we got Seattle at San Francisco. I'm taking Seattle minus 6. Got another card here? Yeah, there's already 2 more. 8 o'clock game. We got Washington at Philadelphia. Philadelphia's been eliminated. They got nothing to play for. They learned last week, all the NFL learned how to deal with Jalen Hurts, so I'm positive if Alex Smith is starting, because they cut Haskins this week. They owe Haskins millions and millions of dollars, but yeah, that just went bad. If Smith is starting, I'm very confident. Washington minus 1.5. And late addition to the FanDuel, they were waiting for something with Buffalo and Miami. Now they got the point spread. So 1 o'clock game, Miami at Buffalo. Buffalo's going to put a show on for the home fans. Buffalo minus 1.5. Bet wise, bet with your head, don't bet over your head. Happy New Year. I'll see you next week for the playoffs. Good luck.